Hi families, welcome to first grade. This is our first grade presentation for William Paco Old Post Road. We're going to each introduce ourselves as we get going. So I'm going to be starting. I'm Mrs. Carrie Johnson. I have been at William Paco for 16 years. I'm the mom of 3. I have a 5-year-old who's in kindergarten at William Paco. And then I have a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old who are at Ring Factory Elementary. So I feel the virtual learning push from both ends as far as being a parent and a teacher. So we're along with you. We're going to help you through this because we are doing the same, some of us, as parents. So we're going to do whatever we can to help you through this and to make sure that your children are learning as best they can as we try to figure this all out. So our presentation today is going to include some things about virtual learning as well as things that might happen when we get back into the classroom. So we're going to start with our content, specific things as well as the virtual learning things. There's going to be a question and answer box for you to ask any questions that you have, and then we'll address them at the end of our presentation. So I'm going to start with the schedule of our day. And I know it's really, really small on here, but you should all have a copy of this. And then you can get it if you don't already have it through our website, which you'll see here, and then you'll see at the end of our presentation. But basically what we want you to know about this is that our days look exactly the same Monday through Thursday. Monday, we start with our class meeting, we have social studies and then math, and then our break. We have reading and then lunch and free play time, and then we come back for phonics, and then we have specials. And then we have a break between specials and the end of our day, which includes writing and literature and our closure for the day. And it's identical from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then Friday, we have our 9:30 class meeting, and then we send you off to do asynchronous work. We do have office hours from 9:45 to 11. In case you need anything from us, if you have questions or things that need to be addressed, we can do virtual meetings or phone meetings with you during those times. So you just contact your teacher and we can get those things scheduled. Each week you're going to get a virtual learning plan that includes the YouTube link. So if you are doing packets with your child, you can use the YouTube links that are provided to kind of supplement your child's packet instruction. And those are all done by the first grade teachers. And like I said, they're just a supplement to the learning that's going on with those packets. Anything that's highlighted is going to be turned into us. And the writing for this week, and probably the way it's going to be, if we can figure it all out, is going to be on It's Learning through the assignment part of the It's Learning page. So you're going to see that probably on Friday. As far as your Teams links, you're going to continue to find them on the It's Learning page for the day of the week. Okay, so I'm going to pass it over to the next presenter. Miss Marchsteiner, you need to unmute your microphone. Let me send you back live 1 second.
All right, so now you can probably hear me. My name is Miss Marchsteiner. As I said when I was on mute, this is my first year teaching. I have had the pleasure of interning at William Paco Old Post Road. So I was an intern for about 4 months with them. So I had the pleasure of working with this awesome first grade team before I got to join them this year. So that's a little bit about me. So this slide, we are going to go over our class meeting expectations. So this is what we go over with our students every morning, and we go through them, we say them together just so they know what we expect of them and the rules that they are going to follow during our live meetings. So our first one is for them to be on time. That's super important so they don't miss any of the crucial instruction that we are giving during the live meetings. Making sure that their microphone is muted so they can hear the teacher and concentrate. And so when they share, other kids in our class, their microphones are muted so they can hear everyone. Sitting in a quiet place, this is important so there's limited distractions. I know tons of crazy things are going on in my house when I'm teaching during the day, so I'm sure there is lots of things going on in your house, so trying to find that quiet place is important. Making sure their video is turned on. So I know some of you may not have a video, and that's totally fine, but if you do have a video, it's important that you keep that on. Listening and participating, just so we can stay engaged and keep our learning exciting while we are virtual, because I know staring at a screen can be difficult, even for me sitting at a screen, so making it as exciting as possible, participating is really important. Raising your hand and waiting your turn, and then no eating during our live class time. We do provide 15-minute breaks that they can grab quick snacks, or we have an hour for lunch and recess from 11:45 to 12:45 where they can eat their lunch then. So that is all for our class meeting expectations that we go through as a class every morning. So this is our Penguin Pride, which is our school-wide PBIS, which just means this is what we use to encourage positive behavior in our students. So the P is for prepared, R is respectful, I is for intelligent, D determined, E engaged. And since we are virtual, we have listed ways your student can show their Penguin Pride virtually during their live team meetings. So they can be P prepared by signing into Teams or downloading the app, arriving early or on time to be let in from the lobby. Being R respectful, so chat only when asked by the teacher, so that's why it's important for them to keep their microphone on mute until they are called on. Use respectful language on video and in the chat. Practice muting and unmuting. I know that's difficult even for me because I was muted when I first started talking to you. I intelligent, check your username and password, ask for help from school, use office hours on Fridays. D determined, just making sure that they try their best and don't give up. I know this time's hard, but we keep pushing through. We'll get through it together. Take a break or use a strategy when they feel frustrated. And E engaged, focus on your work and meeting and try to cut down on distractions, take movements and play breaks when needed to stay focused. And I know we give wiggle breaks even outside of those 15-minute break windows, because I know I need to get up out of my chair and wiggle some, so that's really important too. So that's how your kiddo can show their Penguin Pride virtually.
Hey there, families. It's Miss Walker here. This is my 6th year as a first grade teacher at William Paca Old Post Road. Previously, I was Miss Lawrence. My name has changed. So you probably know me, but probably not by this name. I want to share with you some helpful hints as we embark on this virtual learning together. These are really, really important, not only for your child, but for us as well, so we can make sure that we are doing the best that we can to service them. First and foremost, we want you to be on the lookout for frequent communication from your child's teacher. We've communicated how we each like to communicate. I personally like to use Class Dojo. It's one platform I can reach everybody. I know other people do email or remind, but just constantly be on the lookout for that. And please respond to your child's teacher when they reach out to you. Don't leave us hanging. The next really important point is please have your child be as independent as possible. We love that parents are so involved and helping their students get to where they need to be and do what they need to do. But we want this to be as reflective as a school environment as we can. And just like we can't help every child all the time in the classroom, we really want to build those independent skills. This goes with my next point, which is allow your child to complete his or her work on his or her own. So we're not spelling things for them, we're not solving the math problems for them, we're not writing for them or reading to them. We want them to be doing the work to practice those fundamental skills. If your child does need help with spelling, tell him or her to listen to the sounds and write them down. Like I said, when we get back to school, I don't tell children how to spell words. It's up to them to use the resources that they've been taught, such as the word wall or sounding it out, to spell developmentally appropriate words. The words that children are required to spell correctly are their sight words, which we will get more into using sight words as the year progresses. They all have a copy of these sight words in their writing folder that they can use to help them as well. Some more helpful hints. When your child is reading at home, please don't tell him or her the words. Again, I know it seems counterintuitive and you want to help your kiddo, but it's actually hindering their growth as a reader. We want them to use strategies that we're teaching them, and when we get back in the classroom, we're going to be encouraging these strategies and not giving them the words when they are stuck. Please have your child sit in a place that is free from as many distractions as possible, just like Mrs. March Steiner said. This can mean the TV is off, they're away from siblings, and please be aware that when your child is unmuted, the class can hear family conversations, which is why another reason we want our kiddos to stay muted if they're not sharing. If you don't want the whole class to hear it, make sure that this conversation is happening away from your child during work time. When students are not doing virtual learning from 9:30 to 3, they need to and they're doing their packet work, teachers and parents need to communicate 2 times per week. This can be through pictures sent to emails or text messages. We're also going to be providing the YouTube links for teacher-made videos to supplement those packet activities. So please have your child watch those every day as well. Thank you.
Hi, families. My name is Mrs. Thomas, and I have been a first grade teacher at William Paco Old Post Road for 21 years now. So it's been a long time, and all of my experience has been in first grade, and it's really the age I love, and they grow so much from being beginning first graders to ending first graders, and I just love seeing that growth and change and development, and being a part of it as well. Just a little about me. I'm a mom of 2 elementary age boys. I have a son in 4th grade and a son in 1st grade. And so, like Mrs. Johnson shared, I'm feeling the pinch. So what I'm doing with my students, both of my boys are doing with their teachers in the household, not quite independently yet. As I'm sure your student isn't either, but we're working on it and we get there. We will get there. My part of the presentation I'd like to share with you is about our literacy program, the English Language Arts. So we have a reading and a writing and a called, they're referred to as the units of study. And it's based on the work of a literacy researcher named Lucy Calkins. And she is the author of the curriculum along with her team. We've used Lucy Calkins' writing program for several years now in the county. Last year was
our school's first year with the reading program, and we really fell in love with it. And this year we will embark upon our first year with the phonics program. They are meant to be used hand in hand with one another. They complement each other very well. So what your child is using in reading, they can transfer over, or I'm sorry, what they're using in phonics, they can transfer over to their reading and writing time. And what they've learned in phonics can help them, you know, across the board. All literacy can tie together there. So they are meant to be used hand in hand. We use a workshop structure and in reading and in writing that begins with a mini lesson, followed by the bulk of our workshop time is with the children actually getting in and doing the work of reading, getting in and doing the work of writing. And during that time, if we were in the brick and mortar school, we'd be pulling conferences one-on-one, but we can still do those types of things virtually. And the teachers are working together now to figure out ways that we could pull out some breakout rooms to be able to conference with children one-on-one. And the end of our workshop time is sharing, whether they're sharing with a buddy, whether they're sharing with the entire class. So that is our workshop structure. Our reading units, we've got 7 reading units that we will go through in first grade. Now we're starting with a kindergarten unit, and that's because these children that are first graders this year, due to the closure because of COVID, they did not get this unit at the end of their kindergarten year where it was meant to be. So we're beginning the year with our Avid Readers unit, which we've already begun. Our second unit helps readers develop good reading habits. Our third unit is a decoding unit where the children learn to be word detectives and they solve mysteries and they learn to solve hard words by using what they know. Our fourth unit is about getting to know characters in books and learning how characters grow and change over the course of solving problems. Unit 5 is our nonfiction unit. They're learning about the world through books. Unit 6, they are learning that readers have big jobs to do. And Unit 7, they are meeting characters and learning lessons, and they're understanding that characters grow and change, and they learn lessons as they encounter tasks in their stories. Our writing unit begins with our small moments unit, which is what we have begun so far this year. They're writing personal narratives about things that have happened to them in their own lives. Our next unit following that will be our how-to writing, where they're going to write how to do or make something. Writing reviews is our third unit, and it's all about children expressing their opinions and also trying to persuade others to have similar opinions. Our fourth unit is nonfiction chapter books, and this is where they get to be an expert on a topic and write a whole book about what they know a lot about. And our last unit in writing is from scenes to series, probably my favorite unit in writing, where the children develop a character and they use that character across several series of books, kind of like the Henry and Mudge series or the Amelia Bedelia series, for example. So they're going to develop a character that is in several of their own stories. And then the last part of literacy I'd like to talk to you about is our phonics instruction. Like I mentioned before, this is our first year using the Units of Study in Phonics by Lucy Calkins. And so we don't have a whole lot of experience with it yet. We've worked to some degree with it over the summer, but we have 6 units that we will work through in our first grade year. We've already embarked upon our first unit, talking and thinking about letters. Then our next unit is playing with phonics, followed by the mystery of the silent E, from tip to tail, word builders, and marvelous bloopers. So that ends my portion of the first grade presentation.
Hello, everybody. I am Mrs. Potter. I'm starting my 6th year at William Paca Old Post Road. My first 4 were in kindergarten. I know I've have several siblings. Now, when I had them in kindergarten, I was still Mrs. Miller. So that's, you probably heard that name a little bit. I want to talk to you about math. If you were with us today for math, we started addition, counting on, working on doubles, basically just lots of number sense types of things towards the beginning of the year, counting number patterns, place value. As we move through the year and towards the end, we'll dive into measuring with different units, talking about telling time, shapes and fractions and those types of things. We are still using our Envision curriculum that we have been using about 5 years. So science and social studies, they are not done both at the same time. We kind of switch back and forth. So you have about 6 weeks of one and 6 weeks of the other. Right now we've started with the social studies. And we are in the I Belong unit for social studies. I'll just start with that since what we're teaching now. We're learning all about communities. This is where we establish our classroom rules and procedures. We talk about laws and that type of thing. Our next social studies unit we move into is Me on the Map. They learn, yes, about maps and symbols, but more so where they fit into the world. This is my town and my state and my country and so on, how they fit into all of that, which leads into us learning about cultures from all over the world that they'll get to kind of dive into and pick and see what they'd like to learn more about. Our last social studies unit is We Make Choices, and it's pretty fun. When we are back in the classroom, it gets a lot more hands-on. We talk about production line and how things are made, what are things that we want versus what we need, and they actually get to be hands-on and make a product together and use those skills like community and all that we've been working on. When we switch to science, we have 3 units that are also a lot of fun. So in life science, kind of what you think all about life, the trees, the plants, animals, how they survive, how they adapt, different types and species. A lot of times we'll do that in the spring, so it kind of goes hand in hand. We can be outside with that. For physical science, we talk about states of matter, liquid, gas and solid, experiments with that, lots of hands-on. How does light work? How does sound work? How can we make sound? And then in earth and space science, we learn all about what makes day, what makes night, what makes the seasons. Normally we do get to go to the planetarium. I'll do this. I don't know what's going to happen this year, so I'm just going to keep doing this because it's a fun thing for the kids. But irregardless, we're gonna have a fun time with it.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Janet Vitek, your student. Your children call me Mrs. Vitek. This is my 30th year of teaching, and all 30 of my years have been here at William Peka Old Post Road Elementary School, and I can tell you that I love being a penguin. I have had quite a few students who were children of my former students. So that's always a fun thing to see. And this year I have one as well. So pretty neat. But truly, just spending my days with your children is what gives me my greatest joy. So thank you. I'm going to share with you this evening specials. So your children will attend a special each day, and in PE or physical education, there are 2 PE teachers. We have Mr. Scruggs or Miss McCann, and they will be all live from 1:15 to 1:45. Okay, so when you go on to Teams for them, to Teams for them, it will be all live from the It's Learning link to their Teams. Music, we have Miss Cooper and Mr. Jefferson. Now that is 1:15 to 1:30 as well, but when they go to music, they'll complete an activity first from 1:15 to 1:30, then they'll do their live meeting after that at 1:30, okay? Art with Mrs. Wright is somewhat similar. when they go in at 1:15, they will be watching a pre-recorded video until 1:30, and then they will go live with Mrs. Wright until 1:45. And media is with Mrs. Schubert, and that will be all live as well, just like PE, from 1:15 to 1:45. Okay, and this last slide, if you were at the whole meeting, the whole school meeting, you may have seen this already. This is our communication piece. We put it in here again because it is so important. If there's anything you need to know, chances are you will find it here, okay? So we have a Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram. We also have Snapshot and Dojo, YouTube, and of course our website you can see there at the bottom. We do have the Remind app. So if you enter that number, 81010, text that number, and you see the message, text that message to that number. Also now I'm going to give you a public announcement there. Message data rates may apply. But thank you. Thanks for being with us this evening. Go ahead.
So my name is Megan Johnson, and this is my second year teaching at William Paca Old Post Road, but it is not new to me because it is actually where I attended elementary school. So it has been really cool to be able to come back and to be a Penguin again. So at this time, we're just going to see if anyone has any questions that we can answer for you, and then we will let you go enjoy your evening.
Hi everyone, I'm Miss Izzard and I am one of the special educators at William Paca Old Post Road Elementary this year. This is my 7th year teaching. It's actually my first year being a special educator. I just got my master's this past spring, so I wanted to change it up a little bit. But before that, I spent my first 6 years with this lovely team. So I know how great this team is, and I'm super excited that I get to work with these kiddos. So we're ready for a great year. If you guys have any questions that you held for the end, if you want to type those into the chat, it should work kind of the same as the Teams links that your kids are getting on. If you just want to type in any questions, we'll give it a few minutes and we can try and answer them the best that we can. Well, we just wanted to thank you for joining us tonight to learn all about this year in first grade. This year is definitely going to be unlike any other year that we've had. And actually, we've come a long way from where we were in March when we left at the beginning of the closure. We are still figuring things out and we're learning every day. And we hope that your children continue to do that as well. And we still don't have any questions. So I think what we're going to do is if you're watching this now or if you're watching this later, please email or Class Dojo, however your teacher is communicating with you, please just email or Class Dojo the questions that you have and your teacher will be glad to answer any questions that you have. Remember that we're here, we're ready to do anything that we can to make this successful until we do get back into the building, and we're going to be here to do whatever we can. So we thank you again for joining us tonight and being there with us. So we thank you and we appreciate you. So have a great evening.
Carrie, we actually had a question in the chat.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see it. Did you want me to read it?
So one of our families has a question about that they haven't been able to participate so far, and now they've got it up running. So that child is just going to join us, just join this class tomorrow. If you're up and running, you should have already done the first week's packet. That should be already communicated to the teacher, and then just join whenever you're ready. So if that's ready up today, then you can do that tomorrow. So I'm sure that teacher will be very excited to have another student joining them. So I think that is it for tonight. So we appreciate you. We appreciate you joining us tonight. So have a great evening.